voices inside my head, see voices behind the wall, uplifting the underdog, we fighting above the law.
Hi, y'all. Okay, we have slow mode on, just to let you guys know, I think for 30 seconds. That way adults have 30-second, think about what they're saying, whatever. I'll slow it down if you might be able to slow it down a little bit. And then subscriber mode, which for the haters that go around and say, oh my God, only let people that pay. Subscribing is free. It's free. Calm your horses. Chill out. All right. Let me get situated here. Lil Wang. I wanted to have a conversation with you. If you want to reach out. Now, I was going to have people call in tonight, but I can't get my one phone to work. So now that I have a new phone, I was, while my old number's still activated for another couple days, I was going to just give it out, let people call in, which we still may do that. It's just today I couldn't even get the screen on. So, not today. Should that phone start working again before it's canceled, I will plan that. Hey, Rosie, you did email me. Okay. Hey, Allie, Trey, Yanni, feel better soon, hon. Thank you for being here. Ace, it's good to see you. You guys, I got this new phone, right? And I was playing on the YouTube Studios. I literally deleted all my mods just a couple hours ago. So I got some back and some not back. So I will be making sure here. Oh, I can't even see my screen. Oh, wait. No, I can turn. Okay, hold on. Let me get my shit together. Hey, Canadian Cookie. So tonight we're gonna do a little bit of catching up, okay? Can you guys hear me okay? Your head's like a balloon, but missed you too. I hope you get better soon. Just remember, the first couple days are the hardest, and it will pass. You will get through this. The first week is rough, right? Especially day 4 or 5, yeah, rough. So be easy on yourself. Hey, Charm, are you blue? Okay, hold on. Let me try here. I had to remod Sunshine. Okay, Lil Wang, you're blue. No, you're not. You were, right? Were you blue before? Yes, you were. Do you want? Okay. We're going to be adding, oh yeah, again, of course, this is a forever thing, right? Now that I'm going to kind of segue into another, not just true crime, but a similar situation that we see a lot in true crime, which is exploiting children. But specifically for the last couple years, at least 2 years, I have been following family vloggers. Hey sis, Cotton Candy. Hi Lisa. Let me say hi. Hi Priestess. Everyone that's coming in. Did I miss anyone? Rad Milla. Cool Gamer. Okay. Hello everyone. Sis, I don't know if we need 30 seconds. Would you mind if it's not too terribly annoying? Maybe we could change it to maybe 20 seconds, or do we need slow mode? I don't know. Whatever you think. Hi Trinda. Hey Frank. So we see a lot. I'm gonna enjoy some things. I'm gonna turn the camera off for a little bit, but I will put it back on because my daughters did me up real nice today. So hi Karen the journalist. Lady R. Hi y'all. Well, I don't need the headphone yet, but Trevor is ending his live. It's about to get more up in her. Oh, Trevor Lee. I didn't know that. I didn't know he was live. It's been a busy, crazy day anyway. So, okay. So we're continuing on, of course, with what this platform always does. What we're going to do though is add in where I think there's real big problems and a dangerous situation in exploiting children, especially on social media. But focusing a lot on very much kids that I think are in danger. But a specific situation that jumps out to me is family vloggers that adopt children to have content, literally. And then as I do researching, now this is stuff I've been watching silently. Some of you guys know I've brought it up before. You knew that we were going to be starting to cover some of this stuff. I'm going to go over a little bit this evening of showing you guys, letting you hear like, okay, well, why? Oh, and then you guys are gonna be like, oh, I know you guys are gonna be on board. But whether you're all on board or not, this is what we're gonna do because it's endangering children. And why wait until they're missing before we bring awareness and have a voice, right? So it's in my opinion, it's very much all of the same. It's just that this situation, children aren't missing yet, but the ones I'm going to point out definitely have their children at risk. They're adopted, their foster, their placement, whatever, at risk. Again, we've been watching them for a while, and now I'm going to bring you guys on to it. And I was fine not kind of saying anything and just watching and taking my own notes, but you guys know I started seeing more and more where I was like, okay, well, we need to bring awareness. And then I saw more and more people like bringing awareness to everything of the same people that I've been watching for 2 years since I moved here, and literally red flagging everything that I've been seeing. So it's a good way for me to I've been watching and supporting these other channels, and I'd love for you guys to get to know them as well and do some collaborations with these people to try and bring awareness, try and bring help. Because once you guys see some of this stuff, you're not going to be able to unsee it, and you're going to be like, why is there not better laws for these children? So yes, specifically family vloggers that adopt children, adopt multiple children, all for content, never wanted to have a real job. And yeah, you made it big. Yeah, yeah, you guys will see. But first, we're gonna just catch up a little bit. There's been a few things, I think you guys know I've been chatting with Mary. She still does want to do a show. I also did reach out, by the way, to some of the members in the families that we are going to start discussing as well. We are going to continue on with our series, which we will pick up tomorrow, of going through the suspects, which we are not done with Tim Mullen and Robin Lane yet. Not quite done. I don't think we're ever going to be quite done with those two, but you know that we want to set aside a little bit of extra love, love and attention on each of these suspects or witnesses, whatever allegedly, in our opinions, they may or may not be. Hi, little Dev. Misunderstood. Hi, Erica. Cotton candy, what are you rolling your eyes for, boo? Sorry, I'm new to this mod management thing. I think I got it. Yeah. Thank you. I'll turn the camera back on a little bit. Hi, Jaded. Good to see you guys. So where would you guys like to start? And let me, for the first little bit while we're catching up, let me share the link, because I can't share the number for y'all to call, but I can share the link for you guys to come up on panel if you would like. There we go. There we go. And also in the description, y'all, along with my PayPal and Cash App, I have added Cassidy and Courtney's PayPal and Cash App because they have some really fun ideas that, now that they're older, we're going to talk shit about family vloggers, but that's all part of it. My kids are old enough. My girls are adults, so they're old enough to make their own decisions, choose what content they want to be a part of, if any. And yeah, but they're really excited about the family content as well. So they have made a Cash App as well, which will be in our descriptions from now on, especially on the Crazy Bunch. If you're not subbed to that, sub it up, because we're going to be doing some fun stuff. I think family vlogging is okay. I think some people do it right, but I do think there's a fine line. Like a lot of people, a question I've been wondering, and it's been asked just recently. I don't know if you guys follow the Dad Podcast Challenge channel, but I like that channel a lot. And there's a lot of other channels that I'm new to with following these other situations I'm following. Hi, Marilyn. Oh, you're so sweet. I'm glad you're here. Camera will be on in just a few. I'm just enjoying some CBD. So, if you guys want to come up or join me, which would you like some updating on? I'm just going to be waiting for the live to start. Oh, I texted you. Hi, G from Australia. Oh, that's, I mean, absolutely. And no one should be no. If you join, you will be safe up here because you know what? Y'all hear me. I have difficulties talking, reading, writing, just living. Okay. So, yeah, please don't let that. When Evil entered one of the faves in my featured, same with Cotton Candy. So Mary says she still wants to do a show together. She just wanted to wait a week or two because she said there was some family issues, which that's fine. I told Mary we don't have to go on my channel at all. We can just keep talking privately. We don't have to do any YouTube at all, But another thing is it seems I can voice like how I'm feeling to her and she's okay with it. Like I'm like, well, what about this, or here's how I feel. And she's like very kind. She hears me out. She's not like, shut the fuck up, you bish. It's not like that. So I do appreciate that. That's pretty good. But I do have to say in that situation, I feel like she and her family have been kind of left to hang now that people are really pinpointing. Got a cleft palate going on cancerous. My larynx is dying and vocal cords need donors. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Hi, Kirst. Well, if you just want to come up and just be up on the panel and not talk, you are welcome to do that. Your presence. So, okay, let me, excuse me. Hey, Sassy. Hi, Brian. You're in. I'll share the link again. Okay, so now a little bit about Mary. I want to kind of show a little bit of Heels in the Air. Now, check them out because we're not getting through all that because they got a good chunk of just all of the differences of timelines with Jeannie, Mary, and Dawn and all that. And then there's certain things that are said that are just a little bit weird. Now, what I do want to say is that I have always felt as though Mary and Jeannie were being used as pawns in Chris McDonough's game, right? So if there is lying or whatever, or stretching of truths going on, or whatever it may be, I think people should be a little bit careful with Mary and Jeannie right now. I know some people are angry because there's straight up, I even told her, like people are clipping, it's straight up different stories. They don't align. You're going to be uncredible in court. That I don't even think that they're going to take this seriously anymore, Mary. Like it's all in text. Like I'm very honest with her how I feel and what I'm thinking about situations, right? I honestly feel Mary and Jeannie and the family were used for clicks and views. That's just how I feel personally. No, let's pull a little something up. And I know Dawn loves that video. I mean, there's something about Mary. Hi, Sonia. Hey, Wandering. Okay. Oh, here's where she go. Okay. So Heels in the Air does a proper breakdown. This is obviously something that Donald and I and Mark, everyone has talked about quite a bit. So we know that the whole family deck of cards is effed, right? So I mean everybody, and I'm looking, we got the computer screen over here, the camera right here. Where do I look less creepy? Looking here at you guys, looking here, but then the chat's over here, and then I'm gonna play something down here. Ah. Okay. Okay. So she's gonna break down a timeline here, which is good because I've always wondered. I mean, we do have to be fair. So whatever Don confessed to, whatever we think of Don, okay, whatever, but we have to have a fair playing field here, and nobody cares that Jeannie also had children with minor men, one of which is her cousin for sure. Don spoke about this a lot. This is where Don Wells is right. And I mean, that's nothing against the sisters, but something isn't right here. But Jeannie absolutely had children with minor men. She's the older one. And nobody focuses on that. It's all just about Don. But shouldn't we be concerned about a lady having babies with family members that are also minors to her? And she's doing the exact same thing. Like Don says, they were playing house. They were doing things that they taught and they saw as kids, which I totally understand what he means by that. I think a lot of us who grow up with a shitty hand know exactly, and it's not that hard to even see. Right, Sunshine? Right, Sunshine, exactly. So let's listen to this timeline that Heels in the Air put together because it's correct, and we know this because I mean it's actually very simple and the truth, and it's also why many times I'd be on the phone with Don and he would be conference calling his sisters, and I would be on the calls and he'd be recording the calls and sending them to me. And so that's also why Jeannie told Don, stop talking on YouTube and I'll stop. You shut up and I'll shut up. But Don and Candace didn't stop YouTubing. So that's when they decided to play Chris's game and do these charges. And that's my honest opinion. I don't care what anyone says. Mary knows what Don did. Mary knows she was being recorded by Don. They have to know there's been conference calls. I mean, shit, he had me on the phone with his dad too, right? So, yeah, we cannot ignore that Jeannie has been also at fault for some of the same things that Don Wells is being crucified for today. No, what Don Wells did either way is wrong, wrong, wrong. But if we're doing that, we better look at everybody. We better look at everybody the exact same way we're looking at Don then. Right? I mean, that's Or is that just too crazy? Mm. My daughter bought these. Hey, Cass. I don't know where they went. They bought this bag of kiwi chips, dried kiwi. They're pretty good, but they take a minute to like get used to them. But yeah, they're pretty good. Oh, I was gonna see what was the
I don't care.
bag look like, so I can show people. But she's like, I don't care. The girls told me today, I don't care what anyone says on YouTube about me. We think it's funny, so don't worry. Like, don't worry. Like, we want to know what shit they're talking about us. And I was like, oh god. Oh, they laugh at the haters. They help me feel better about it. If you guys can't tell, yeah, they're a little bit sour, but all like at first I was like, I don't know if
They're
I like
like-
them, and then I ate a couple, and now that like they're good.
You know how they dry out bananas?
Mm-hmm.
They're like kiwi chips.
Super fruit snack, real fruit. Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shitty hand doesn't
I need to show them my ducks.
make an excuse. I've been dealt a tarot card. Exactly, Marilyn. That's where. Oh yeah.
Okay. I
Be
don't know
careful.
how- I did another
There you go.
tattoo. They're ducks.
Little duckies. You okay?
Yeah,
Little
I'm trying to
duckies.
show it.
Little lovey duckies. Okay. They are so strong. Yes, my girls are so strong. Hi, Leanne. Leanna. Dawn has a missing child. His sisters do not. Right. I mean, there's that. But I mean, again, hit like that. Now we're just talking that away. Like, oh, it doesn't matter. Jeannie did because she doesn't have missing kids. I mean, I see what you're saying, but I also don't see what you're saying. Like, again, we're clearly that's not a fair playing field then, right? I mean, if we're being honest, they love you guys too. They love you and a few others. They don't love my haters, but they think they're funny. Okay, so sorry. Let's do some listening. All right.
I hope you did your homework.
We have been.
So, Mary's mom started babysitting for Don's mom and dad
Mm-hmm.
when Mary was 4 and Don was 4. He
Yeah.
wasn't born yet.
Right.
2 years later, Mary's mom went into a psych ward. During that time, Jeannie would have been born. When she got out, Don's mom and dad got back together, probably because, there was a baby born in the psych ward. I don't know. Then when Don was 12, he moved in with his dad and his stepmother. My opinion is that was one fucked up household.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fucked up from top to bottom. And what gets me,
And definitely, and Heels touches on it too. Like, again, we got generations of this mess, right? So it would be not normal if these people were not messed up, because you can talk. I mean, this goes generations back. Multiple. Hey, Killer. Hey, fam. Lady R.
is how people look at all this fuckery and expect normal in any way, shape, or form. How would you expect any child? I'm talking about Jeannie, Mary, Don. I don't know about his sisters and brothers that lived with his mom, but Jeannie's mother I don't believe she had dementia as a teenager. I don't.
Do I believe Mary and Jeannie? I believe. Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, yes, but I don't. Something is wrong with the story. Do I believe that there was kids fooling around and acting and doing adult things and being inappropriate? Yes, I do. Do they feel that they were R-worded? That's what they say, and I can't say they weren't. I can't take that from them. But there's problems with their stories, all of them. All of them. I mean, every single one of them. And so I think it's just up to the law, I guess, decide what they want to do with that. But to me, I've always thought listen, I believe shit went down. I don't know if it's exactly how we've been told by any of the parties, to be honest. So, do I believe them? Yeah. Dawn confessed. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it's just a lot more into it than any of them are really saying. Or if I'm going to be honest and think of my past and my history and what really happens in households like that, because I can relate, right? Definitely kids were seeing sex stuff happening. Just, I mean, right? And that in turn makes children act out in sexual behaviors and do inappropriate things. So, action, reaction. That's how life goes. So I don't know. Yeah, that's where we're gonna leave that.
Even think that's possible. Maybe, but dementia, that's a pretty early onset. Maybe, and
Right.
most of the stuff that Mary says, Mary is told by someone.
Mm-hmm.
Mary is told by her mother, or Jeannie, or Trish, or her daughter Amanda, because she doesn't witness anything. I don't know what happened exactly between Jeannie and Dawn. It's not even the point. It's that Summer went missing, and Jeannie comes out of nowhere and starts talking about when Dawn was a kid, and she was a kid.
This is where I don't think it was Jeannie and Mary coming out of nowhere. I think they were pushed into somewhere by someone. If that makes sense.
And that Dawn was molesting her.
Hi, buddy.
Okay, Jeannie was molesting a 12-year-old. And the 12-year-old was also molesting Jeannie. Oh, she would have been 15, I think. And then she was pregnant with her first child when this cousin of hers was 13.
Yep.
And then she had another child when this kid was, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the kid was 16 and she was 19. Either way, at that point, someone in her household should have said,
I feel bad for both of them, but it's been 30 years, and if it was that bad, why wait? When evil entered, that's a huge question that, yeah, and I think I've said that to Mary way back when, because I know that, Mark was thinking it too, but here's my problem. When we have people saying, yeah, Don tried to sell his kids, it happened, it was midnight, and oh my gosh, I was so upset, I was so mad, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so where was the reporting back then for that situation that Don just tried to sell his kids? Instead, everyone went back to wherever and talked about it and hung out. Because remember, again, now Mary says they were hanging out at her house and Dawn did some dope in the bathroom, whatever, and then she pounded on. That's when she told them to leave because she crossed the line. So after all of that happening, Mary and them have still been hanging out with Dawn. Don't forget that when him and Josie were in Utah and the party they were at that Candace thought he was cheating was his sisters. The sisters having a party. Dawn and Josie were there. Like, we all know that. They all said that. So, whatever. And then Mary told me the other day, well, Dawn's been calling me. And I'm like, oh, he's recording you, and she's like, yeah, it sounds like he's trying to fish for something, but he ain't going to get it. Well, he's getting it because you're answering the phone. You're calling him. He's calling you. You're taking the calls. It doesn't look like you're so afraid of what Don Wiles has done or whatever, And where is the reporting of trying to sell the kids way back when that happened. Where? Because there's nothing. There's nothing, right? And then you wait till Summer disappears. You don't wait until, okay, Josie's born. Why'd it have to be when a girl? Like, nobody is concerned that he tried in the past to sell a little boy and a little girl. Nobody's concerned when there's 4 boys born and a little girl. Like, we're not concerned for, no, three boys. We're not concerned about anything until Summer gets gone. That's what we're supposed to believe. And I don't understand that. And that's where it's hard for me. And Mary knows that too, because it's definitely been said 100 times. So just things don't really add up.
It's probably not a good idea to be screwing your
Where's yours? Your
12-year-old
Tim
cousin,
Hortons. I'll share
your
with you.
13-year-old cousin, your 14-year-old cousin. She gets pregnant twice, and nobody says anything.
Right. Peach iced tea.
And they're calling.
My daughter got it for me.
Don's family fucked up, and Don fucked up, and Candace fucked up. Excuse
Right.
me. Y'all are all fucked up. All of you.
Oh.
And you know what? There's still a little girl missing.
Right.
Summer is still missing.
Canadian
none of it
things.
Makes a fuck. You're all dysfunctional. Every last one of you.
Amen to that, Heels.
A lot of it has to do with mental illness.
Right.
Because I see a shit ton of mental illness in this family. Every fucking body. It seemed to me like Don and Candace, or Don especially, just trying to get the hell out of there. And them saying that it went on for 7 years.
Yeah, they did, Sunshine. I remember.
Don was gone.
Yeah, we talked about
Like 17 years old because he went to.
when the laws changed. I remember. Yeah, Don was. They say they didn't know about Summer, but they knew about the boys. Right. Exactly when Evil entered. Right. They didn't know about Summer until Summer got gone. So Don went there back with Josie before all of this, right? Back when Jose was at the house and all that. And Don and Josie never once mentioned Summer. So they literally had no idea. That's what we're believing about Summer until the day Summer got gone. I don't know if I believe that. Is that what they said? I mean, I could ask Mary. Let me just voice memo it. Did you guys not know about Summer's existence until she was reported missing? I think that's what we heard, right? But yeah, I do have trouble believing that, which I think you know that. But is that true, or is that somehow a rumor that got twisted on the internet? Do you know? 'Cause I can't even remember now, since we are so close to 2 years, how that even went down. All right, I'm just send her a voice memo, because I don't even know. That could have been something that was started, honestly, through the YouTubes. That might not have even been anything that Mary or Jeannie said. You know, Mary said it. Okay, well, we'll see what she said. I sent her a voice memo. Okay, I sent her a voice memo. We'll see what she says, because I can't recall that coming from her mouth. I know it was said, but I can't honestly remember, and I don't want to just say, yeah, Mary said it, if I don't recall that right now. I'll just ask her. Mary said that? Okay. Well, I'll ask her. Hi, Cassius. Hi, Buckeye. Let's see. Okay. All right, let's hear more of this.
It went on for 7 years. Don was gone by 17 years old because he went to jail. And he was gone until he was 19.
No, I don't think Don went to jail till he was 19. Sorry. Okay, I'm texting her. Okay. This is Heels in the Air. And she's just put together a bunch of the different interviews, which it doesn't make the sisters look good at all, but I think that it's because some of this is wrong. I could have swore, but I mean, all you could do is ask, right?
Jail. And he was gone until he was 19.
18. Got out when he was 19. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Mary said he was 18, got out when 19. That's kind of what I thought. I know. I didn't think he went in at 17. So, Okay. Okay. We're going to call Mary.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Cher.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, we're doing okay. So I'm live right now and just kind of discussing, as you know, I was texting you the other day, letting you know, like, oh my God, there's these videos going around and they're splicing together and it's bad, right? I told you it looks bad and it looks like everybody is lying, right?
Right.
So I can see where some of it, I mean, obviously, I'll put myself in there, like us YouTubers or whatever you want to call us get things wrong, and I'm seeing some of that. So it said in there, it sounds like did Don go to jail when he was 17? Like I said, I don't want to talk about your case really on the channel because you're going through that right now, but the jail part of when he got arrested, that was when he was how old, do you think?
Well, he was in and out of, oh my gosh. First he started going to a place in Roy that my mom and dad had sent him a few times, and it was called Moita.
Okay.
And it was a place for unruly teenage
Okay.
kids.
Okay.
And they would take them for a couple weeks and then let them come home. And
like a group home situation more than like a
Yeah.
jail. Okay.
Yeah. See, and that was when he was younger.
Okay. Okay.
And then he did go to jail, I believe, when he was 18 and got out when he was 19. Now, I'm not sure if that was jail or prison. I think it was prison.
Okay.
But
At
he
19.
was in prison a couple of times. I think he was in prison once in Texas.
Yep.
And in Utah.
Yep. And Florida, or was Florida just jail? He was definitely I think he was in prison in Florida.
I'm not quite sure. I haven't seen his records. I haven't, pulled them up, at him or anything. So I'm not really quite sure.
Okay. Yeah. So I have his arrest records. Many of us do, right? And I'll have to look. I don't know if it was prison or jail, but he does have an arrest and a mugshot in Florida. I don't remember exactly where, but for sure in Florida. So then the other crazy thing that never really made sense to me, and I don't remember who first said this or if Don said this after all this time. I really don't know or remember where this originated, but that you guys did not know about Summer's existence until after she was reported missing, so that they were keeping her secret? Or like, was that really something that was said, or I don't remember?
I don't think Donnie or Candace was keeping her a secret. We just didn't know he had a daughter.
Okay.
I knew he had kids, but we just all thought that he had boys. We
Okay.
never knew that he had a kid.
So
So,
until she was reported missing.
right. Yeah,
Okay, so that's crazy.
The day Donnie, because see, when I very first found out, I had went to my mom. I walked through the door. My mom told me to be quiet because my dad was on the phone with Donnie, and I'm like, oh, well, what's his problem now? You know?
Yeah.
And his daughter is missing, and I said I didn't know he had a daughter, and my mom's like, yeah, he's got a little 5-year-old girl that went missing today, and I was like, oh, yeah, we didn't even know.
Wow.
Like my other sister, my brother and stuff, we didn't know that.
So can I ask you then, I know back when Candace had Jose over at the property, all that mess going on, Don was in Utah. He told me with you guys, and he was doing some work, and he had his oldest, we'll say, instead of the name, his oldest with him. So even he wasn't mentioning having a sister at all, or was that had to have been weird?
When Josie was here, he didn't talk very much, Cher.
Okay.
I only got him to open up to me that one day that I was over at my mom's, and I was over at my mom's probably once every 3 or 4 days. I would go over there, and I mean, if I did see Josie, he really didn't talk. He was like,
right.
It was kind of weird that he wasn't really talking.
So probably obeying.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Okay, yeah, that's crazy. So another weird thing, which again, I do believe I think we've discussed it even back then. The mention that Don tried to sell his other kids. I have talked to Don's son, Donald Wesley Jr. or whatever. I talked to him a little bit, and I don't feel he was truthful with me. He did tell me that his dad treated him and his sister real good. Like, he didn't even get mad enough to ever even spank them. In my opinion, I wasn't being told the truth, and it turned they went from wanting to record something to not wanting to record something, which I was like, yeah, and I was just like, that's okay, so I just left it alone, right? I don't think that's truthful. That's not for us to say if they're truthful or not. That's my opinion, and you don't have to don't respond to that. But so I bring this up because they were, I believe, with you way back when Don tried to allegedly sell Margie and Don Jr. And his wife was really upset, right? And okay.
Right.
Was that just not reported ever? Because we can't find anything online about any reports of that.
It wasn't reported because the night that Pam came to my mom, she had both the kids, but it was just, at that time, it was just little Donnie.
Okay.
He was trying to sell.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I mean, like I said before, she came in crying and stuff and said that she had just found Donnie down on 25th Street trying to sell little Donnie for drugs. But he was really, messed up with drugs really bad, and
yeah.
And so, I don't know. I mean, people do that when they're messed up on drugs.
Yeah. Yeah. And so just so his wife never reported it at all though?
No, she
Okay,
came
she was
over
on
and-
drugs too, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
She actually that night she left the kids with us after she had came over, and about an hour later she left the kids with us, and my mom and dad told her to go find Donnie and bring him back to the house so they could talk.
Right.
So that's what she did. She went and got him, and she brought him back to the house. I mean, my mom and dad talked to him that night, but nothing was ever, you know, of course my mom and dad's not going to call the cops or anything on him because my dad always protected him. He didn't want him getting in trouble,
Right.
you know.
Right. Did Don seem very religious back when he first was in and out of, like maybe back when, let's say 17, 18, 19, or is religion kind of newer for him since Summer's birth?
No, he was always, every time he went to jail and he got out, or he went to prison and he got out, he always had this thing that he was in jail reading the Bible, and he was going to turn a new leaf over, but it didn't take more than 4 or 5 weeks, and he was right back into the drugs. So
Okay. And so maybe that's why he likes Seventh-day Adventists, is because they allow him to drink and do drugs. So, okay, so that didn't go reported because the wife was on drugs, and yeah, so I mean that's unfortunately people. And going back, when was this, like the 60? I'm sorry, like how far back are we talking, do you think? I mean,
oh my God, when was that? Oh, had to have been about 1988, I would say.
okay, so yeah, so in the 80s. Wow, I was born in 83. That's crazy. So did no one else, sorry, so I'm sorry, so did nobody else then from the family that was there that night when his ex-wife was so upset, none of the family, I guess family usually helps each other be silent, especially back then, you know, it's a lot of, you know, you be silent, but none of the family even reported. So it's undocumented. It's really just what his ex-wife says. Okay. So now I have a question. Were you guys concerned? Did you, like, now since I know that you didn't know about Summer being born until she was reported missing, how did the births with the boys go? Were you guys alerted through the pregnancies? Were you told, or were those hidden for a certain amount of time from you guys as well? How did that go with the boys?
Well, you know, I mean, Donnie wasn't brought up very often because he didn't, you know, he was out of state. Nobody really wanted anything to do with him or kept in touch with him because he was on drugs. Nobody wanted nothing to do with him.
Right.
And so every once in a while he would call my mom or my dad, I should say my dad, and he would, you know, let him know how things are going and stuff. And, you know, every once in a while I'd walk through the door and, you know, my dad would be on the phone or something with Donnie, and my mom would say, "Oh, he just had a baby." "Oh, okay, he just had a baby." She didn't say if it was a boy or a girl. She just said he's married and he's got kids. That's all we knew.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, and that's from your mom was saying that.
Right.
So,
yeah, you know, no.
So when your mom also told you about Summer too, that's how you guys heard, oh, he's got a daughter, or how did you guys know about Summer? Just from watching the news? Or I thought you said your mom told you.
No, just when I found out that he had a daughter was the day she went missing.
So you found out on the news with the rest of the world, or just did they call you and say, yeah, we have a daughter and she's missing, and by the way, she's 5?
The only reason how I knew was, like I said, I went to my mom's house that night, and I walked through the door, and my dad was on the phone with Donnie, and Donnie was telling me that his daughter was missing.
Mm.
And my mom, as soon as I walked through the door, because the dogs and stuff, they start barking, you know.
Right.
And so my mom's telling me to be quiet, and I'm like, why? And she goes, your dad's on the phone with Donnie. I'm like, oh, what's his problem now? And she's like, well, he's got, his little girl went missing. And I said, I didn't know he had a little girl. She goes, yeah, he's got a 5-year-old little girl that's missing. And she went missing today. And I'm like, oh, I had no clue that they had a daughter.
Hmm.
I just knew that they had kids, you know,
Right.
the whole time. I didn't know, you know, I just had boys. I didn't know he had a little girl.
Right. Wow. Wow. Did you do you think did he ever mention like a Robin or a Tim to you at all? Because he was going to the church back when he brought his oldest to you. He was definitely going to the church then, according to Robin, because they've been going there since endish of 2018, from what Robin says.
Yeah, I don't know. He never said anything to me about going to church when he was here. He never said nothing about going to church when he was here. All he did was, as far as I could see, all he did was go to work and come home.
Did you meet all
You
of the
know,
boys then, or only the oldest?
I just met Josie.
Okay. Wow. So you have never got to meet the other two, or three. You've only got to meet Josie.
Yeah, just Josie.
Wow. And is that the same for the rest of your family then?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. That's
You know,
crazy,
I think
Mary.
his biological sister, you know, went to Tennessee and probably met him or whatever, but
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
talked to Sonia a few times.
yeah.
Now tell me a
But
little
no,
bit
yeah,
about
and
Sonia. That's Don's full sister?
Sonia's Donnie's biological sister, his
Biological.
younger sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, I can't believe that they were able to keep like children hidden like that. That's crazy, but I guess that's probably why, they
Well,
in
when
a
you
different
live out of
state.
and
Yeah.
stuff, you know, and like I said, you know, we really didn't want to hear from Donnie or anything because he was always on drugs. Nobody wanted him around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you know that I was on the phone a lot of the times when like Don would call you and Jeannie and that?
No, I mean, I kind of figured maybe he might be,
Recording.
you know, recording. I was
Yeah.
recording him too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but, you know, it's all good.
Yeah. Wow. So you were able to find out basically right before they went on the news then, right? Because I don't think they went on the news till 2 days after she was reported missing, if I'm not mistaken. They did the first news thing like on the 18th.
Right, yeah, we knew that she went missing the day she went missing, but that's only because my mom told me, and then I don't even think Jeannie even knew till for a couple of days after, you know, because
Right.
I told her, maybe I might have even maybe got a hold of her that night, maybe, I don't know, but yeah, we had no idea. You know, and my other brothers and sisters, they had no idea. They just knew that he had kids. They didn't know he had a daughter either.
Wow. So so that when he brought the oldest one, that would have been back in like October 2018. If I'm not mistaken,
No,
right?
It
2019.
was 2020.
2020. That's right. Where am I going? Right.
Yeah.
2020. That's when he rushed back, and then he got in that altercation. He was arrested for the domestic. So 2020, October 2020 is the first time. Now, Don had told me that he had been with you from March or in Utah, but he told me he was staying with his sisters a lot, but that he was in Utah from March to October. Do you recall that?
Yeah, he was here for about 6 months.
Okay, so he left in October. So yeah, that would put it that is. So he's telling the truth about that?
Yeah, he was here for about 6 months, yeah. And he didn't, I mean, he might have stayed at Sonia's house a few times,
Yeah.
but he basically in that RV in my mom's driveway, my mom and dad's driveway.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Really?
Because he told me you guys, the family was getting together and we was eating. And I was having good food, and Candace was jealous. She was jealous, but it was just my sisters,
Yeah,
man.
that was Sonia's house. Yeah, that was his sister. That was at Sonia's.
Okay. But he stayed with,
Yeah,
he was
never-
with
he
you
didn't
guys
stay
as well, though, right?
Uh,
Oh, okay. So when he was there for the several months, you didn't really see him then.
Just when I went to my mom's, and I went to my mom's at least once or twice a week. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. This whole thing is just so crazy.
Right.
So he wasn't staying basically in your yard, like, okay, all right. So
No, we stayed at my mom's.
so the party was at Sonia's, not yours. Because I did always wonder, well, why are you hosting him at a party and having a family function with him? Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So I was wrong with that. I apologize for that. Yeah, I was wrong on that one, yo, because that's what I thought. I didn't even think about Sonia.
Yeah, it was at Sonia's house, but he was talking about she was having a party or something, and then he called Candace.
Yeah. And so you only saw Don like probably every other couple days or something while he was there.
Yeah. I seen him probably, at least twice a week.
Oh, at least,
While he was
okay.
at my mom's.
Okay. My experience made me not let my daughter to spend the night with friends. Yeah, it gets scary especially when you go through things as a child and then you're an adult and you're a mom and then you have a daughter as well, but any child, but especially you have that little girl yourself. It's understandable to be overprotective. Well, Mary, we still got to do a cooking show. We'll plan that, but there was okay, I can't believe that you guys didn't meet any of the kids.
Yeah, because Donnie was in Tennessee. We were here in Utah, and we didn't want to, my mom's side of the family, we didn't want to go to Tennessee and
Yeah.
Donnie.
So when Don says you guys are all jealous because you want that house and that land and all of that, and so you're just trying to be able to take his house and land from under him, he's full of shit, or?
Right. Yeah, he's full of shit. I mean, a couple of years ago, I asked my mom what was going to happen with the house and everything after her and my dad died. And she said that the house is to be sold, all the bills are supposed to be paid off, and if there's anything left, it's supposed to be divided between us 9 kids.
Okay.
And so,
So how come Don has the house and land right now then, and not all of you guys are up there? Like all you go park a lawn chair over there then.
yeah.
Technically,
Yeah.
they're trespassing on your property too then?
Well, it's still in my dad's name, So, I mean, and the house that Donnie has in Tennessee, I mean, his mom left him that. So.
Oh, okay. His mom gave him that house.
Right. His real mom left him that, and my dad's house, it's still pretty much.
Oh, that's a whole different house. Okay.
Utah. That's my dad's house.
And so, well, I guess we can't really say about that. We won't ask about that. I just, was there, to your knowledge, open CPS cases prior to, like, very close leading up to Summer's disappearance that you know of?
Well, Donnie himself even told me that they had an open CPS case, but they had closed it
Mm-hmm.
right before she came up missing or something. So I don't know.
Yeah, I remember he was saying that. Yeah, I don't remember exactly how long he had mentioned that was. I'll have to go back and listen.
Yeah, I don't know. So, apparently there was a CPS case open, but he said it was closed.
Yeah.
But then they reopened it after Summer went missing, I guess. That's what he said. I'm not quite sure, but I think that's what he said. So,
I'm just hoping that somebody, it would be sealed anyways, right? But I'm hoping that there was some reporting for those boys. Like, I hope that there was, because that will help keep them safer longer if there was prior reports. So I do kind of hope there was.
yeah.
But I suppose if you guys didn't even know until 2020 that, well, no, you knew before 2020 that they had sons. You just never got to meet any of them until 2020.
Right, until 2020. Right.
And then nobody, now don't answer if it's not comfortable with you. That's okay. But I have always wondered, did anybody worry, because an offender, from even what Dawn confesses to, makes me nervous. And I was like, did anyone get nervous, even not knowing there was a daughter, but was anyone ever nervous about the boys and different abuses happening with the boys that?
Well, yeah, I don't know. My mom had told me, I don't know which one it was. It was either Waylon or Wyatt. I'm not sure which one it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the middle boy. I think. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the boys, apparently they had to take him to the hospital because there was something wrong with his, intestines or something.
Oh.
And they had to operate stuff on him. So.
Oh yeah. I remember hearing about that.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know if you can get records from the hospital or not, but that's just what I've heard. So.
And so nobody, so even the doctors or nobody was worried about abuse then, or you think that surgery happened because of abuse?
Well, I do, because it had to do with his bowels.
Oh, okay.
So they backed up. It was backing up into clinic. That's why he had to go in and get operated on.
Oh, poor pork head. That's terrible.
And I don't know. I'm not quite sure what.
Right.
I know those two.
Yeah.
The two younger ones.
Well, that's okay. We won't. They can figure out. They all know.
Right. Yeah. So.
And you also think, can I ask you, what do you think about Summer's name? Because from my understanding, Dawn really wanted to move back to Utah. Candace hated Utah, didn't want to go to Utah. I mean, I've heard Candace say she didn't want to move back to Utah, because Dawn would tell me all the time, that is such a beautiful area. He wants to move back there. He was thinking about moving the kids back there, and then Summer disappeared. But Candace wasn't ever she never really seemed down with Utah, so I was confused why her name was Summer Moon Utah Wells. But the memorial thing
Yeah.
there in Utah was weird as well. I know that.
That was really weird, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It.
Yeah, that's really weird. I mean, I don't know. Who goes up a canyon, you know, up in the
Mhm.
mountains and there's a marker on a layover, and
Yeah. It's,
you know, the airport's 45 minutes away from my mom and dad's house. I mean, and probably about 55 minutes, 60 minutes from Ogden Canyon where they went. So that was just totally weird.
yeah. Yeah. That is definitely. Hi, everyone. Wow. It's wild. Oh, so Summer Moon Utah Wells.
Yeah, I wish I knew why he named her that, or they named her that.
Were you aware he was wanting to move back?
Well, when he came back here, the very first day he got here, my mom called me and she said, Donnie's here. And I was like, he is? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, oh, what's he doing here? And she's like,
Right.
I don't know. She's like, I think they're going to move here. And I'm like, oh.
Oh.
And then me and Kristen went over there about an hour later, and I asked Donnie, as soon as, we started talking and stuff, I said, so what are you doing here? And he said, well, I came down here to look for a job, and I want to move back here. And I'm like, oh. And he goes, yeah, I just missed Utah and stuff, and he said, I want to move my family here. And I'm like, oh, okay. Didn't think nothing of it,
Yeah. And how did that make you feel to hear that he wants to move back home now, and here you guys are? And were you thinking about charges ever in the past, or like, how did that make you feel then? That must have been kind of like, no, please do not move back here. Like, stay far away.
Yeah, that's exactly the way I felt, because like I said, I mean, I'm sure his biological sisters and stuff and his dad and everything wanted him here, but everybody on my mom's side, all her kids and stuff, we didn't want nothing to do with him.
Right.
Because he was on drugs, and when he left.
So when go ahead, sorry, what were you saying? When he left?
I was gonna say, when he left here, he was on drugs. Nobody wanted nothing to do with him, Sheriff.
Yeah. So, okay. So when your mom said, hey, Don's here, and you said you went over there an hour later, right? Did you actually go over there to tell him to, okay, low-key, I'd be like, you motherfucker, don't you dare move back here.
I went over there because I wanted to know what he was doing here.
Yeah, like, what are your intentions? What's going on?
Exactly.
And okay, how was that conversation kind of, no kids were brought up even then? No daughter, nothing even in that conversation?
No, he said he wanted to move back there with his family. And that's all he said. He said his wife was back home packing and putting the house up for sale. Those were his exact words.
When did you all get to meet the wife, Candace? She's a real treat.
I've never met Candace before in my life.
Never? Oh, wow. Even now?
Nope, except for on the phone.
That's crazy. Wow. Huh.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, I've never met Candace. I've just talked to her on the phone.
So you definitely never met Grandis, right? Did you ever talk to Grandis? She's a special one.
No, I haven't. I've never talked to her.
Okay. So, I mean, there's her sister. Supposedly Candace's favorite sister is missing.
Right.
Rose Marie Bly. Yeah. Do you remember hearing about that situation? How did that come up in conversation?
No, I never even heard about Rose until after Summer went missing, and everybody
What?
started saying that she had a sister that went missing like 10 or 12 years ago or whatever.
What?
And I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, I had no clue.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay. So you still to this day have not met Candace. You guys, that's weird to me.
No, I've never met Candace.
Wow. And I suppose did any of you guys try, well, you guys, no, never. Did the family at all get chances to take the boys in? Or
No,
okay.
no, there was never, any discussion of that or anything because, like I said, they lived in Tennessee. We didn't know,
Right. Well, I mean,
were-
I meant after, like, since the boys were taken, which that tells me, well, that kind of, when you say no, even after, what I was thinking is after the boys were taken, were any family notified? No, you say no, and so that makes me think that they really do think like they can't even be around, because remember, that's what happened with me. I had to have a name change. None of my blood family was allowed to take me in because it was that bad. They didn't want my mom the men my mom hung out with around me because of my safety. So that could be that. Could it be that Dawn and Candace are such a dangerous situation that no family were even allowed an option to take the boys in? I don't know.
I don't know. I have no clue.
So that's interesting to hear you say that nobody, because to me it shouldn't matter if you're in another state. It should just matter about trying to keep family together, right?
Right. Well, you would think that maybe somebody could come forward, but literally to tell you to share, I mean, everybody in the family, it seems like, has had some kind of pedophile or sexual abuse or something going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There ain't no way nobody could take the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, so, yeah.
What do you think, well, do you think Tim Mullen, did you ever feel like a presence of Tim Mullen or the church presence so heavy in Donald's life before all of this, or like, is this Tim Mullen and Robin Lane, like the whole SDA thing, really like new for you guys to see him so deep in this religion, if you will call it that?
Right. Yeah. I don't know, Sharon. My opinion, I don't think Donnie was really into religion that much.
I don't either. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I'm sure he went to church a few times and stuff like that, and maybe tried to get his family to go and stuff. But literally, I don't think Candace was really even involved in going to the church.
Right.
That's
Chris McDonough asked.
maybe
Yeah.
months great, but you
Mm,
know, he just,
mhm.
I don't know.
I
More
mean,
about it than
yeah. When Summer would be missing and the church would be holding prayer circles at the parks and stuff, right? And he would be like, sometimes Candace would go, or he would sit in his truck and talk to me on video messenger on Facebook, or he'd stay home, or they'd both stay home. They'd be drunk and messed up, and I would literally go and watch them get on their public platforms and lie for Don and Candace. Oh, Don's at work, he's always working, and Candace is, really sick right now, so she's laying in bed. I just talked to her a little bit ago, and I'm thinking, I'm on video call with them right now. They're fucked up. Like, why are you lying? And that's when Robin stopped talking to me, because I'm like, Robin, why are you lying for them? I know you're lying for them. Like, I literally just caught you lying for them. That's weird. You are a member of this church and you're lying. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's really weird to me. Yeah, I don't know. It seems really weird.
So is
You know,
Don seem like a very, like, how does he seem different to you guys then, since having these people, in my opinion, have control over him? Or is he acting like the same old Don you've known?
I don't know, sure. I mean, he talks a lot about the church and stuff, and scriptures and
Yeah.
how this and how that, and then I see, the church helping him, or maybe it's just Robin. I don't know. Fix up their house, and that seems really strange to me because I think it was Don B who was saying that Robin told him that she had spent almost half her retirement on helping Donnie and Candace. And I'm sorry, but I just can't see somebody like Robin working all her life and then,
Mm-hmm.
putting all that savings and 401k and stuff and then just spending it on Donnie and Candace. That don't sound right to me.
Yeah, that's
Who in their
weird.
right would do that,
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, that's very odd.
Yeah. And then also I heard that Candace, the first person she called was Robin. Now, why would she do that? Why? The first person I would call would be 911, and then the second person I think I would call would be my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would start calling my family, and everything. I would not call somebody from the church that I only met a few times.
Right. And
that
if you
don't
listen,
sound right.
right, it doesn't. And if you hear when Robin talks about that very situation, she says Candace called her like several times in a row. So like she was hell bent to get a hold of Robin, and like calling in over and over and over, and then called David Dotson, and that whole thing, that whole thing is a mess. We will have to chat. So, well, Mary, we kind of, we'll end this call because I wasn't really expecting all of this, and I actually would rather sit down with you. There's so much, especially I want to talk about the characters involved. Your case is still ongoing, so I told you, we'll leave that situation out of it, but there's definitely some questions, about your sister and her past and stuff, but that's a different time and place, and probably for your sister to talk about, not you anyway. So we'll leave it at that, but I appreciate thank you for letting me call you on live tonight, and I'd like to plan something so we can talk about the people surrounding them right now. Like I'm curious to have more of a chit chat of you and your thoughts and theories and that.
Okay.
So, and we can, like I said, we'll leave your case out of it so we don't do harm to that. And then the questions about your
Okay.
sister, people can take up with your sister. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much for taking my call, Mary.
You're welcome. You have a good night, Cher.
You also. Bye. Okay. Thank you, Mary. That was good. Some interesting, but yeah, I mean, I would love to talk to Jeannie. That's for sure. So, well, you guys, I'm sorry I didn't pay much attention to the chat. That call wasn't expected or planned, and then of course she was on the phone. I was like, "Well, what about this? What about this?" And blah blah blah. But yeah, a little bit of anxiety too. So, I'll be back on tomorrow. I don't know what time, but we need to talk more about Robin and Tim Mullen. So we've got to get back on to that. Now, I didn't get to it tonight because this went elsewhere, but we are going to, as I brought up at the beginning, talk about some family vloggers who, in my opinion, adopt and foster children for an income. And there's two families that I'm going to cover that are tagged in this live stream, so you can find them in the tags there, and go watch for yourself, because we're starting on that this week, because I've been keeping my mouth shut on it for some time, and now a lot of people are talking about it and they're nailing everything that I've been just like, what the fuck, so time to start talking about it then and saying my voice about it as well, now that I see a lot of other people doing it. So look in the tags. One is the Dr. D Dozen, and then the other is, I can't even say, starts with a T. It's like a double T name in the tags of the show. So, and then, yeah, again, Mary and I want to plan to have a chit chat about all of the characters, suspects, witnesses, founded, unfounded, whatever you want to call it, together. So we'll plan that for another time. But actually, I think we're going to start the family vloggers I want to talk about tonight. We're going to do that tomorrow. I maybe be live twice tomorrow, but I'm going to be live tomorrow. Be watching for it, and follow the journey, because like I said, it's still exploiting children. It's putting children in dangerous situations, and I'm seeing more and more weird children's channels that it's little kids that are doing inappropriate things, and it's like, okay, for sure there's a parent running this, right, to upload these videos and stuff, but why are they allowing this to happen? We are watching trafficking happen right before us. It's crazy. Like, that's how I honestly feel. So we're going to address some situations of awareness of these children and the dangers to them, and these family vloggers, especially these foster families, should not be using kids for social media to make their money and then brag on other social media platforms years ago that you never want to work a real job, and then you're all of a sudden adopting children and got 1 million followers overnight on the social medias, and you're trying to be on the next Kate Gosling and be on movies, and the manager dude you have actually has sexual charges against him on children. Like, it's wild. But anyways, yes, this is where we're going to be going to on the channel, as well as continuing what we're doing. So, because it's the same, they both need just as much awareness before a child is abducted and after a child is abducted. All awareness. So that's what we'll be doing. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. See you tomorrow. Hi, Zena. Hi, everyone. Gail, Rays, everyone coming in. Hey, Outdoorsy. I have to go check my wrenches. I deleted all my wrenches. I got a new phone and I deleted all my wrenches by mistake. So I had to start putting them in who I remembered. And then some people's weren't showing up. So I got to re-wrench manually, and some of y'all may get new wrenches. I may be throwing some new wrenches and stuff because I got new stuff I want to talk about. So I'm going to need extra help, guys. All right. And we're getting back into Courtney Struebel's case. So be watching for that because, yeah, now we've got multiple people reaching out to me and locals stopping me at the Walmart. Again, different locals. So, yeah, we're getting into that. Lots of stuff to be talking about. It's not necessarily all high profile stuff, but all stuff that matters and exactly why I made my platform and why I wanted people like you who I know care as well to be a part of the platform and make it our platform. So good night, everyone. Love y'all. Bye.